and a deep sense of duty that I stand before you today to give this lecture, Rebranding Nigeria in the Legal Field, a particular subject that is very dear to my heart. I'm going to try and be as brief as possible so I don't bore you. But you see, we're talking about rebranding a nation that may be close to chaos. It's a serious topic. It's a serious business. We may not be able to do it in 5 minutes or 10 minutes or rushing. We must understand that this is turning around the state of a nation that may have gone a bit too far to the right or to the left, perhaps. Today we gather to address a subject that is often overlooked, but of paramount importance in professional circles: the difference between good manners and good etiquette. While many professionals may believe that good manners is sufficient for navigating the complex world of business and society, I submit to you, lawyers always submit, I submit to you that true etiquette goes far beyond mere politeness. It is a system of principles that guide our actions and behavior, ensuring that we conduct ourselves with grace, integrity, and respect in all situations. Esteemed colleagues, before I go into the intricacies of etiquette, allow me at this stage to give you a little bit of background as to how etiquette came about. And we're going to go to the court of the Sun King, the illustrious George XIV of France. At a time, it was chaotic. Good society, aristocracy was chaotic. They came into the Versailles Palace, which you all know, and they literally behaved abominably. And it became necessary for the king to set up rules of conduct, rules of behavior, looking at each other, how best to coexist in a civilized manner. That is etiquette. I won't go too much into that so that I don't take too much of your time. But now let's look at what we mean by etiquette. The Cambridge Dictionary defines etiquette as a set of rules guiding one's behavior in professional settings, thus highlighting its importance in the workplace. However, Merriam-Webster's definition provides us with a broader understanding of the word, allowing us to appreciate its relevance, not only in business, but also in the wider context of our discussion today, namely rebranding of Nigeria. According to Merriam-Webster, etiquette is the conduct or procedure required by good breeding or prescribed by authority to be observed in social and official life. If we examine this dictionary, things will jump out at you. We're talking about conduct or procedure. We're talking about good breeding, and we're talking about social or official. It just goes beyond getting up and sitting down and saying a few good words. It's actually a way to conduct a harmonious blend of proper behavior, refined manners, and an adherence to social and professional norms. I won't go too deep so that I don't lose you, but history has showed us that we have got it a little badly. The state of the nation, much as we understand it today, leaves so much to be desired. I believe in finding our feet back as a nation that must be ready to take a hint from other actions and etiquette with which our past heroes conducted themselves while they were in public or in their official capacities. I speak of no less than, I call him now Pa Nnamdi Azikiwe, Pa Awolowo, Obafemi Awolowo, Alhaji Ahmadu Bello, or the great Madam Fumilayo Kuti. These are people who lived in consideration of the other. Etiquette is actually about being in consideration of the comfort of the other. And etiquette goes beyond good dress and good manners. It talks about honesty. It talks about integrity. It talks about a good handshake, which means you can take my word as your bond. It talks about good manners, not just good manners, but it goes beyond. An orderly society is bound by laws and rules of etiquette, good conduct in public places. Let's leave the private places out of it for now. So I was going to remind you again, good etiquette talks of incorporation of conducts in consideration of others, in consideration of others. Conducts in honesty, conducting oneself respectfully. That is respectful conduct. Believe me when I say these three powerful principles, if integrated in our lives, in our public lives, can indeed work wonders. Now, this is, of course, the true power of the principle. Now, I will continue and ask you to contemplate the words of D. Mackay, a renowned author in the 19th century, who once proclaimed in his work, a manual of etiquette with limits on politeness and good breeding, that men often speak of good manners as an accomplishment. I speak of it as a duty. And let's move on quickly. I mean, we had etiquette in our historical past. The Oyomesi kingdom with the Alafin knew when he had to leave office when they sent him a calabash to put his head. His conduct was beyond acceptable. And the man who had integrity would leave the throne. Today we're told, sit in there. Now your father spoiled the story. You must remain in office, no matter how badly you're behaving. We have lost integrity. We have lost good conduct. To conclude, be assured, I'm not concluding, just a section of it. Be assured that the profoundest learning without good breeding is unwelcome and tiresome pedantry, that a man who is not perfectly well-bred is as full and as unfit for business as for the company. Make then good breeding the gate object of your thoughts and actions. Observe carefully the behavior and manners of those who are distinguished in good breeding. Imitate them, and you would see new things come in. It is an undeniable truth that the first 10 seconds of a professional encounter can often define the course of a relationship, just as the popular Nigerian musician Two-Face Idibia has said, so eloquently crooned in one of his hit songs. I believe the saying that when you dress well, them go address you well. Not just the dress, but the conduct. So let's look at empowering individuals for a brighter tomorrow. The role of citizens in rebranding Nigeria. As I continue with this lecture, let us look at our Constitution, a testament of our collective aspirations as a people. It calls on to us not only to embrace our role as builders of this nation, striving towards a better tomorrow for ourselves and for future generations. Now, if you look at our Constitution, you may say, what does etiquette have to do with Constitution? But Constitution is the grand norm, the superior law of this country. And in that Constitution, rules of etiquette actually reign. For instance, the good citizen who is doing his duty must pay his taxes. Section 24F of the Constitution. There must be obedience to laws, respect for national symbols. Section 24A of the 99 Constitution. Voting at elections. Section 77 of the Constitution. Defending your country. According to 24E of the Nigerian Constitution, it is the duty of every citizen to defend Nigeria and render national service when necessary. Respect for the rights of others. That is in Chapter 4 of the Constitution. Service to the community is Section 24D. Upholding the Constitution. Respect for judicial decisions. Environmental protection, Section 20 of our Constitution. Proper use of public property, not destruction of property for whatever whims and caprice. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the state. Proper use of public property is an aspect of etiquette, good conduct. Promotion of national unity, reporting crimes, participating in community development, respect for constituted authority, avoidance of corruption. Yes, avoidance of corruption. Fundamental to etiquette. Avoidance of corruption. Participation in census, child education, promotion of peace, respect for cultural diversity. I could go on, but our Constitution is a great book to talk about etiquette. That is good conduct, one to the other. So now let's look at, in pursuit of justice, the legal responsibilities of citizens in rebranding Nigeria. One way citizens may contribute to rebranding of Nigeria in the legal field is by participating in legal reforms. There's a story I love, and it's in the Bible. It talks about the state of the nation of Israel at the time, the Old Testament. And they said at that time, it was wild, misconduct. There was fear on this. In fact, people could not venture on the streets because law and order had broken down until there arose a person with a conscience, a force of character. He happened to be a woman, Deborah. She put the society back on its feet before she went back to her position of being the woman. What are we going to do now? By participating in legal reform, citizens can help create a legal system that is more equitable, transparent, and effective. Another way citizens can help to rebrand the country in the legal field is by promoting access to justice, as cost of litigation keeps on going up sporadically. And in recent times, it seems like a gain for the privileged alone. It's almost like that in the recent increase of the fees, filing fees in the Supreme Court, which now runs into millions. I dare say that access to justice would be severely limited if that continues. Access to justice refers to the ability of individuals to obtain legal assistance and to have their rights and interests protected through the legal system.
Updates.